Hello. This is the second episode of Terry Talks, and I am your no bullshit favorite artist and business coach. Um, episode two is going to be very similar style to the first episode where I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing, but I do have some things that I want to chat about. I have some things on my mind. I had previously planned on doing a more structured topic, um, but I had a really interesting conversation on threads. So I want to, since that's like on the top of my mind, I just wanted to go ahead and share that conversation and talk a little bit about how I feel about the platform and all that stuff. So let's just get into it. I am somebody who has always been interested in pushing buttons. I grew up around a lot of confrontational behavior. I don't shy away from confrontation because I believe that you can have really, really groundbreaking conversations and feelings and solutions that can ultimately come out of a confrontation. I think the word has a very negative connotation. Um, but I'm also somebody who likes to bring things to the surface. I make waves and I think that I do that in my content, but I think that also in the last 6 months and maybe to a year, I've shied away or have gotten a little bit more quiet about pushing buttons or calling my clients out or calling artists out in general, calling the art industry out. And so this is my space to do that in. And it's really a fresh start in my career where I haven't had the creative buzz in quite a while. So this just like YouTube platform has really opened up like a new chakra, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Um so gonna just like I'm just want to pull up my notes a little bit and talk about how I feel about threads. Okay. Do I dare say that most of us have jumped into the pool, whether it's a warm pool or a cold pool for some of us? How do I feel about the platform? Well, for one, I don't feel like I have to play a role. I think on Instagram, I've created this pressure even, I mean, we've all created a different type of pressure for ourselves, right? But I've created a pressure to constantly be bringing educational content. And for me, it has put a lot of pressure on, making designs on Canva for each post and really having like very targeted and focused conversations and reels. And it's a lot of it, a lot of the creation process got really old for me. And the pressure to like hop on Canva every single day, it was almost like I was becoming a graphic designer and I was spending a lot of my time designing and not just like hopping on like I used to. So that's another reason why you know being on a YouTube podcast, it has like opened up a sense of playfulness. But I digress. So, Threads for me has allowed me to not be as front facing, right? You can show your face, you can post pictures. A lot of people have already dove into just, posting those pictures kind of with a very like free sense of um like genuinely wanting to post those pictures. But you don't have to be front facing. um, I don't feel like I have to play any particular role. It kind of feels like I'm starting over or I'm like completely I can be multiple things at the same time. And that's something that I really love. I don't know if I'll always feel that way. I think that everyone's going to like get into a different groove eventually. Whether some people stick with it or not, or they feel fulfilled by being on that platform. Because I think that's a huge thing. I love Instagram. I love what it's done for my career. I love what it's done for the role that I play as an educator, as a leader, as someone who has been able to influence and inspire people like all over the world. That to me, that like that level of that magnitude of reaching so many people is why I love Instagram. Um, but also, it does sort of pigeonhole you sometimes. The way that you show up kind of can last. And when you want to make a switch, you can, right? It's your fucking platform. Like no one is going to take that away from you. And it is a free for all in some sense, but it does take a bit of a minute to transition your Instagram account into something else. So anyway, Threads it's definitely refreshing. I've had some really interesting conversations with people that I maybe wouldn't have on Instagram, some new faces, right? And it feels less intimidating. And I'm not sure if it, well, that's the general vibe that I get from Threads. Um, because I see so many people pouring into conversations, responding, engaging. Like I have just been posting some random ass shit. Some of it is how's your day going? And some of it is how long does it take you to put your laundry away? And then the question that I asked today that I'm going to actually talk about is how artists feel when someone says you need to post more content. And I raised this question last night and got a couple of responses that I thought were really interesting. But I could also feel the angst and sort of the tension when I said the word content in the sense of the art world. And everything that I've been doing with my clients over the last couple of years and using that word, I try and stay away from saying, you need to be posting more content because my clients are artists and you're organically making content, but it's not for the purpose of it being on a platform, right? When you are picked for an art show, they don't say, please hang up your content on the walls. Um, and so the word along with artwork is a really interesting kind of relationship because if you're someone who's marketing your business, right? You need to show it in order for people to know what you're offering, right? Um and so if you're, gatekeeping your artwork and you are not showing it to the world, then we don't know that you're in business. You are going to have less chances of selling, of being noticed and gaining the visibility that you want for all kinds of opportunities. Let's just forget about the selling part, but residencies and get like your reach galleries, your dream galleries that you want to be in. And so I think that the word content maybe has not served artists in the same way that maybe it would serve an influencer, right? If you are a content creator, you are someone who is constantly providing educational messaging. You are somebody who is really front facing. You are someone who is talking to us constantly. You are someone who's providing us with knowledge and inspiring us. And you are inspiring us not only with your messaging, your voice, but you're inspiring us with your graphics, your design, your color palettes, all of it, right? That's what you do for a living. However, when it comes to being an artist, you know, I'm not going to say that I'm creating content as a part of my business. I am marketing my artwork, and the artwork that I'm creating then does go onto these platforms and automatically just becomes content, right? So when I talk to my clients about making content, right? It's a little bit more purposeful for that specific platform, right? It doesn't have to change the value of your work, but it's actually easier for us artists to be posting. And that's why sometimes I get so frustrated because I'm like, what the fuck? You have stuff to post. Like for someone like me, I have to really like frame things and I have to like be a lot more thoughtful about my messaging and my voice and what I want to share and what I want to bring up and what kinds of what kind of voice I want to bring to the world, right? But an artist can technically stay pretty quiet and hush hush and still, show the world your work. And so I think that it's not a fight with anything. It's not a war with, your artwork and these platforms. It marries so beautifully that that is something I think we really need to embrace, whether you like it or not. If you are someone who is super resistant to social media, it does what it does. It does its thing and it's still free. And if you're not leveraging that at this point or any of the platforms, you are completely missing the fucking point. And so with threads, I think that it actually lends itself to introverts in lots of ways. And you get a chance to not only build possibly a new audience that's a little bit more curated, um, exchange ideas, and it's meant for the community atmosphere. Now listen, I kind of missed the Twitter um era. And I missed the TikTok era. I went on for 2 seconds and it just like wasn't for me. I'm not tap dancing. I'm not lip syncing. I am, I have like more to say. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was a serious enough platform for me. Being that I am not showcasing artwork right now, and I am not sharing new series and BTS and works in progress. And so I think that that platform really lends itself to artists, absolutely performers, visual and performance and all of it, theater, music, all of that stuff. And that's why some of those people do go viral. So, with all of that being said, I hope that Threads continues to be a very fun and loose and free and non-judgmental space to talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Now, whether you want to curate your threads, I'm not sure what that even looks like. um there's it's not like you can design the colors. It's not like you can I don't know, I'm not like look at your feed as a grid. It's such a different format that who knows how it's going to drive the sort of the branding of different businesses on there, and if people are going to be using it as a business platform, like solely business. I mean, I see really interesting in-depth discussions happening. I'm not sure that I have the bandwidth to pay attention to those things. I also, have to be very aware of what I can provide on this platform and how much energy I can provide on another platform. So I advise everyone, you always feel it out. Don't feel guilty if it doesn't work for you. Don't feel guilty if you can't make it work for you. I think that you know, I am YOLO. I am always down for trying things out. I never stray away from um diving in head first. I'm a pretty decisive person. I'm a generator and a Sag and a New Yorker. So all of that actually works to my advantage when it comes to trying out new things. But you have to have the bandwidth and understand if it's benefiting you, if it feels fun, if it feels genuine, or if you're pushing yourself to do something that kind of just like doesn't really match with your uh, just like whole being. You know what I mean? So anyway, that is my take. If you are listening to the replay, feel free to use the chat, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, sign up for my newsletter, all that stuff. All the links are in my bio on my Instagram, and see you next time.